Hi everybody. So, you all saw the video I shared yesterday, which was Billy Murray talking about how four men, the driver and three passengers, or was it four? There was five of them. I don't know. Anyway, a group of them, let's say, were attempting to kidnap his two grandchildren. So, if you haven't watched the video, long story short, Billy Murray is a famous actor in England. He's been in series like The Bill, crime series, and also EastEnders. He was in there for a long time. He's a very good actor, and I like him. He's down to earth and, just one of your normal run-of-the-mill blokes who you'd go into a pub, maybe I'd go into a pub with Alfie and you'd just get chatting about his career. Apparently he's that sort of a man, and he strikes me as being that sort of a man. But his daughter was walking with her partner and two children. Partner stopped to take a telephone call. Daughter was walking on. A car, and a black Audi pulled in front of her, and the driver got out, came towards her and was chatting and familiar with her. In the meantime, the one in the passenger seat and the two or three in the back, they all got out and headed towards the two kids with an intent to pick them up, I suppose. And Billy's daughter started screaming for her partner to come. He saw what was happening, ran across the road. They all piled into the car and drove off, with no kids being taken that afternoon, as far as we know. The police were called and they said they couldn't do anything, although they'd been given a description of these men, Eastern Europeans, driving a black Audi, full description of the car. And the police said they weren't going to follow it up because nobody had touched the children. What? You're actually waiting, you policeman, you puppet policeman, you're actually waiting until a child gets hurt, attacked, or goes missing before you will lift one of your little pinkies to go do anything about it. How disgusting. These people who, and let's not put a gloss on it, it's happening more and more that children are being targets of a lot of these people, and they say, oh, well, it's our culture. Well, it's not our culture, and they're our kids, and you keep your hands off of them. It's bad enough when you get them trying to chat up teenage girls in their school uniform, but when it comes to little kids, little preschool kids, out with their mum and dad, and they're not even safe, what is it all coming to? Anyway, I sort of was thinking this morning, I thought, I remember reading about Billy Murray being a friend of the Kray, the Kray twins, the big gangsters, the biggest gangsters, arguably, in England in the 50s and 60s, and even later, I believe. I think it was the mid to late 60s that they were both incarcerated. So it's a little bit before my time, but I remember them because I remember my mum tutting about them. I remember as well Alfie having a conversation with somebody and saying, well, they never hurt women and children, were out of bounds. They only ever hurt other villains like themselves. you know, which was true, but they were very, they could, you know, the things they did were evil. There's no getting away from it. But I seem to remember a story about Billy Murray and the Krays, being a friend of the Krays. So this morning I went to Google and I looked it up, and lo and behold, yes, he was. Billy Murray was a good friend of the Kray twins. And let me tell you, if they'd have been around nowadays, and this had happened to Billy's grandchildren, you can bet they'd have done something. They'd have been doing something. They'd have been out there doing the police's job. So, this was an interview. I'm not going to read it all, but I'm going to read some of it. So one of the questions was, is it true that you grew up with Ronnie Kray? They were, well, both of them, because they were twins. And Billy Murray said, yes, we lived in the same area, although the Kray brothers were older than me. I used to box for them. I was really good, except it all went out of the window when I was 19 and I discovered girls. It's a hard life as a boxer. You go to bed early, get up early. You're always on a special diet. You're always working out. After the boxing, I did odd jobs for them. I haven't read this. You know, a couple of MURDERS a week, but he was joking. It was a dark joke. A very dark joke. No, I'm joking. I did painting and decorating jobs for them. And then she asked the interviewer, is it true that Ronnie Kray paid for you to go to drama school? And this is what sort of nudged my memory. Billy Murray said, yes, for the first term. It cost £400 at the East 15 Drama School. It was kind of him, but that's what the Krays were like. They could be kind. Why did they take a shine to me? Again, he's joking. Because I was good looking and he was like men. That's what you wanted me to say, isn't it? I mean, he was playing with that. So Billy Murray as well, he was tried out for West Ham football team. Right, this is what I'm looking for. Are you, the interviewer asks Billy Murray, are you a vengeful person? And Billy Murray said, let's just put it this way, I never forget. And he's been married for over 30 years. Well, I don't know when this interview was done. Doesn't say. So it hasn't got a date on. Don't know. They put dates on them. Anyway, if you type in Billy Murray and the Krays, you'll get all this information. So the fact that these morons attempted to abduct his grandchildren, I personally would never forget it either. And I know when somebody attacked a member of my family, I put out a reward for them. I wanted the names of them. And the most I could offer was £1,500. And if I'd have found them, then I would have taken the law into my own hands. I would have without even thought of what would happen to me, because they hurt one of mine. And I'm thinking that Billy Murray is feeling very much the same way. No, they didn't get the kids, but that thought is going to be in his head, his daughter's head, her partner's head forever now. And I can almost imagine what his daughter must be going through, thinking, I shouldn't have let them run so far ahead. They're in the fields picking flowers. Or what would have happened if my partner hadn't been there? I wouldn't have stood a chance. They'd have got the kids, and he'd have pushed me over, and they'd have got away with them. And maybe the police would have done something then. Maybe, you know. But a lot of things, any of you policemen there will know it, about policemen, your fellow police officers, being given the boot, being fired from their jobs because they've spoken out. They've spoken out about being told to be quiet about certain things that are going on. I hope Billy Murray doesn't let this die down, and I hope that members of the East End get around him to support him and his family, and I hope these 4 or 5 studs are caught and made to pay for what they attempted to do. Very much hope so.